What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Outbreak official podcast, where we talk to people who have played the festival, who exist around it, or frankly, we just find interesting. And thank you to everybody who attended the autumn edition of the Outbreak Festival. To be honest, I was not there, but I watched it from afar, and it looked absolutely mental. Sets from Speed, Angel Dust, Fucked Up. Looking at those pictures of Speed playing, I was like, oh, like, not only are there a lot of people there, but it just looked really, really special. And it further confirmed the fact that maybe one event a year is not really in the cards. Maybe we should think about two. But regardless, thank you to everybody who came. And we look forward to announcing the 2025 stuff coming up soon. So sooner rather than later. So keep your eyes peeled. Today on the episode, we have Jayce. I have never said it out loud except in meeting him maybe, I don't know, over a year ago. Regardless, he plays in the band called Sweet Pill. He plays guitar in the band and they're awesome. They are a incredible, sweet emo mix with, the energy of like a hardcore band. I definitely would compare them to bands like Mannequin Pussy or Joyce Manor, where it has that melody, but then also has a little bite to it. And it was their first time over to the UK, and it was really exciting to watch the crowd. Like, first of all, they had a huge crowd watching them while they played. And on top of it, it's, very early in their band's life. So it's really cool to see the excitement and the excitement around what it is that they're doing. And speaking of excited, I am thrilled that we obviously have a sponsor for this particular series. Huge shout out to Squarespace. If you are launching your first website or domain, please use the code Outbreak, and that will give you 10% off of your first month. And trust me in saying, when you are launching a website, you want to make sure it's easy to use and it looks good. That's where Squarespace comes in. So go to squarespace.com and again, use the promo code Outbreak. Also, please email podcast@outbreak-fest.co.uk for any sort of feedback. We publish these episodes every 2 weeks. We also publish them on YouTube. Obviously, if you're watching it, you get that. But if you're listening to this on audio, you can go over to the video version as well on YouTube. So we welcome any and all feedback or anything that you would like to see for next year's series of interviews. So until then, let's talk to Jayce from Sweet Pill.
Hi, my name is Jayce and I play in the band Sweet Pill.
So you're a pro. You're fine.
Yeah, it's easy.
Well, I was not only excited to have you on the show, because it's Matt, because and I know you experienced this too. When you meet someone who's like friends of a friend, and then they have you, you're like, oh, you can pay blood. And I'm sure it's special for you to obviously work in the industry, play in a band, and meet all these people who you're I actually like what you do. Talk to me about that feeling of being able to, talk to the people whose art you admire.
Well, I was really lucky to be introduced in that at a young age. I entered at Headroom Studios in Philadelphia when I was in college. I went to school outside of Philadelphia. That's how I made with Philly. And I met my idol, which is Joe Reinhardt from Hobble Algernon, and his guitar playing is the reason why I play in a band like this. And I just realized it's just a guy. After hanging out with him for a couple months, since then, when I play with all these bands that I've looked up to my entire this entire fest is my adolescence. And being surrounded by these people, at first it's a little unnerving, especially because I'm jet lagged and X, Y, and Z. But no, I feel right at home.
That's cool.
Everyone is my biggest pet peeve. Now that I've entered the music industry, is when someone who's been doing it longer than me makes me feel like I'm a child. And so everyone here has been treating me like a contemporary, and that's all I had to.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it's really, it is so cool when you meet the people whose art you admire, and then, like we said, they just become a person.
Yeah.
Because it's very natural as a human instinct to, like, not idolize, but put people on a pedestal, or just be like, oh man, I can't believe they like put on pants. Like, that's great.
Well, I know, and like now that I'm getting just like a little bit that on my end, where the young folks that are inspired, if I ever see that, I try to tell them like, hey, listen, I'm literally just a guy. Like, you could do this too. You put in the work.
Right. And it's like you're passing on that idea where it's like, there's nothing stopping you. Like, I'm not any better or cooler than you.
Exactly. And I'm not a religious person, and I don't really know what I believe in, but I just say that I'm gonna do something and then it happens. Yeah. And that's just that kind of mindset.
Yeah, no, I love that. This is maybe a random question, but something I think tell people a little bit about yourself. So if I were to wake up tomorrow morning, give you like $1 billion, whatever, some large amount of money, and you were to open up a retail store or something along the lines where it doesn't have to be like, selling guitars or whatever. It can be, and if you want to sell guitars, totally fine. But it doesn't have to be like an actual thing. It can be just a service. So granted, I'm putting you on the spot, but like, what would you open up if you were to?
I actually have an answer to this.
I love it.
I thrive in chaos.
Okay.
And I wear like 7 different hats, so I have a lot of different jobs. And so my favorite venue that I've ever played at was this place called Static Age Records in Nashville, North Carolina.
Right.
And it's a record store, it's a coffee shop, it's a bar, and it's a breakfast place. And it's like a garage door, hole in the wall spot. And if I were to open a business, I would want to have something that was like 10 eggs across the top like that.
Right. You're like, it's a little bit of ADD contained in one place, where it's like, but they're all connected.
Exactly. I'm addicted to caffeine.
Yes.
Because I work a lot. I love music, so I love to have bands who play there. And if there's a retail element, it's just records.
Yeah. I already gave you the money, so you're obviously starting this already. But
well, I didn't hit my bank account.
It's okay. We'll sort that out afterwards. But I love this.
This episode and the entire series is brought to you by our friends at Squarespace. Squarespace is the super easy to use, all-in-one platform for building out your websites, your web store. And trust me in saying that it's easy. But first and foremost, you need to go to squarespace.com/outbreak, and that gets you 10% off of your first purchase of a website or a domain. And they have so many features to shake a stick at. And if you play in a band, which most likely you do because you're consuming this content, you can't find a better place to launch your stuff, whether it's your store, whether it's a place for you to put your tour dates, whatever the case may be, because at the end of the day, not everybody exists on every social media platform. So you need to be able to communicate with your listeners directly. And that's why Squarespace will solve all of those problems for you, because they have a really easy drag and drop platform for you to design whatever it is you want to do. And if you are looking to sell stuff, they have the Squarespace payments function. So like I said, it is a very easy thing for anybody of any web intelligence to be able to use. I've used it before myself, and I've launched numerous websites with Squarespace. So again, go to squarespace.com/outbreak, and it gives you 10% off of your first website or domain. Huge shout out to Squarespace for making this all happen.
With the, especially with Sweet Bill, like you're talking about, where the idea of playing with bands that you admire and like having people pay attention to what you're doing. Nothing is an overnight success, but you definitely have had that element of like, wow, people really are resonating with this. We haven't been around for 10 years or whatever. And not like anybody's judging you from that side of things, because no one's like, bring out the pitchforks, being like Sweet Bill or industry plants or whatever. How is it for you, like, coping with that, like, attention from the fact that you're playing in front of a lot of people, and you really haven't done that before?
It's actually very difficult. I personally don't like the spotlight, which is really insane to say as a performer. But what's really nice is I'm just the schmuck on the side of the stage. Sure. And Zayna, our singer, she can have a spotlight. I'm really grateful that I get to play in front of that many people, and that my art reaches that many people and it resonates with them. But for me, it's less so the attention, it's more so just the fact that I have these insane opportunities.
Right.
And whether the crowd is 100 people or 100,000 people, like I will have the same feeling of like, this is affecting someone. So
Right. Yeah. That's a very, you, for your age, and this is me like being a dad, like you're very mature.
thank you. Well, I had a lot of not great things happen to me at a young age, so I grew up quick.
Okay. Right. Yeah. So you were like, oh, okay, I need to act like an adult, even though like age-wise I'm not.
Exactly. And, my girlfriend, who is an oil painter, we talk about this all the time, where we make the best art when we are not doing well.
Okay.
And that's a tough thing to balance because I am young, and when I was propelled as the music industry, I made mistakes. And like, you have to watch things like, it's really easy when they give you drink tickets every night and stuff like that. And so now that I feel comfortable with touring and taking care of myself, I have a routine to where I feel comfortable in that environment.
Yeah.
That's all it takes.
Right.
And when I can contain the bad feeling.
You're like, I can harness this and then put this towards the music that I'm playing and the art that I'm playing. Yeah. No, that's fair.
Like, people think the rock star lifestyle is like, you have to be a drunk mess all the time. That is so 1982.
It is.
You don't have to do that anymore.
No. I mean, this thing, like, you catch more flies with honey, where it's like, yeah, if you're like a nice and reasonable individual, more people are going to be drawn to you, full stop.
Exactly.
There's always going to be the one band that's successful that, like, rides off the, whatever, like, no shots against Oasis because they're an incredible band, but, like, obviously, that they're leaning into, like, we're the best band in the world, of course, but it's like, that's one band out of 9 trillion.
Yeah, but they are up there.
Absolutely.
They can say that.
That's exactly right. Like you talk about, you wear many different hats. You have a lot of side hustles that all contribute to the fact that you can obviously pursue your band and play that. Putting you on the spot and saying, like, what's been your favorite sort of, job, side hustle that's like given you that ability to obviously explore big bands?
Well, out of the like 4 jobs that I work in the music industry, they're all intertwined.
Yep.
So they all help each other. I'm a promoter. I do A&R work at a label, and I tour full time, and then I just do gig work in Philly.
Okay.
Just at any venue, not for money, just so I can eat gimbal. And because of that, I could do this full time. I can work on the road, and it's really difficult. I pull my hair out in some mornings, but you got to make it work. But my favorite job. And my first job, the one that I started my own business, was promoting shows. I started doing basement shows, and I went to a college campus that was like a party school, same thing that we were just talking about. I was really not interested in Greek life or like that, the idea of like getting pissed drunk all the time. So we started throwing shows in our basement in the house that I lived in, and it just grew. It would sell out, so we would sell pre-sale tickets, and then one of my professors was like, "You did this in a real venue." I was like, okay.
You're like, wait a minute, a real venue? Yeah, you sure? This basement stuff's pretty cool and easy, and easy to like sort of contain. And Philly, the legendary basement scene, like that's so many venues and bands obviously have attached themselves to that culture to be able to like grow into the venue.
Well, I was drawn to it. I'm originally from New Jersey, and I went to school 20 minutes outside of Philly in Jersey, and so there wasn't a scene where I went to school. There were no bands playing or something, so I made it. And my goal was to then eventually graduate to Philadelphia, which is where I ended up.
Right. That's amazing.
This episode is brought to you by Betterhelp. This month, we're all thinking about being thankful because, that's like the holiday that we're celebrating here in America. But truthfully, I'm thankful for music. I'm thankful for all these records behind me. I'm thankful for the fact that I have made decisions to take care of myself, because when I take care of myself, I take care of those around me that much better. And that is why I personally love therapy. It is a great tool for anybody that is going through any stresses, any issues at work, any issues with your friends or family. You need a third party to be able to bounce ideas off of and be able to help you, from a professional perspective, work through these issues. That is why I think that BetterHelp is an amazing solution. So if you have been thinking about giving therapy a try out BetterHelp. It's entirely online. It makes it very easy for you to get a schedule dialed in. And then if for whatever reason you do not like your therapist, you can switch it at no additional cost. So let the gratitude flow with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/outbreak to get 10% off of your first month. That's betterhelp.com/outbreak.
The last thing I wanted to hit on was the idea of interacting with the business, like as you have been, and understanding to be able to differentiate between the people that are obviously just wanting something from you, like me wanting you for this interview. Like I'm just using but like being able to decipher where it's like, okay, this is like, yes, there's always a transactional relationship involved with it, but like, is this person actually like caring about my art, whatever? How have you been able to, I mean, I know it's a learning cost as always, but like, how have you been able to kind of confidently step into snuff with your band? Like, oh, this person's real, or I don't know, this person made me blow smoke.
It's really important to me, anyone we work with, it has to be a friend. I don't expect to be best friends with a new crew member right out of the date, but I text our booking agent at least twice a week. We get on a phone call every other week. Our manager, one of our managers lives 3 blocks away from me, Joe Morrow, and so I'm constantly in circulation with these people outside of just band stuff. But because everyone that I work with, and myself included, this is everything we do. It's just enjoyable. This is what we talk about. We just talk about business, and so we've been really lucky to like have a solid foundation of friendly people that we work with. But after being tenured, not tenured, but
years
in music, I know when something's off for sure, and I felt it here. Actually, that Outbreak has been incredible with some of the other bands. Like,
sure,
just one band, which I don't feel unfair, but it's everywhere. You know what I mean? It's no matter where you go.
Yeah, there's always going to be, to your point, whether it's a band, whether it's like the venue or whatever, you just feel where you're like, I don't think you're here for the same reasons as I.
Exactly.
And it's tough to articulate that, but you're just like, oh, even if this style of music was popular or whatever, you would be jumping around to something else that was popular and then completely forsaking everything that you thought you were into or whatever, and it just becomes really confusing for people like you who are just like, wait, I thought you were cool, and now you don't like me more because I'm not offering you value.
Yeah, I mean, that's our first national tour was with Lotus Me, and one of our two managers was tour managing that tour. Ross manages Lotus Me, and he was just like, you're the most genuine opening band I've ever had, so let's work together. And that's just how it works. You just stay true to your craft, and you'll meet the right people.
Yeah, be able to build around that. It's beautiful. Well, thank you. I'll do the late night handshake. I appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Of course.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Of course, dude.